too bad we can't have Beastie Boys in their galactic
thing, but it didn't go. There it goes. Well, welcome everyone to Old Gray Bricks. It's good to see everybody. Everybody doing it except for Matt. Matt didn't do the wave. I didn't get a harumph out of that
studs. I was counting studs.
Matt is in his laissez-faire.
I don't see one stud.
It's very important that I count, and I don't want to get this wrong. So
I gotcha. Your great work of art that you're working on. I'm excited to see and everything. Welcome to Old Gray Bricks, everyone. Thank you for being here. We have some of our guests here. Some of our guests are arriving as we go. So we'll be getting started here in just a minute. But this is Old Gray Bricks. If you've never been here before, and we are interviewing Lego Masters champions, and so we're excited by that. But how's everybody doing this evening? Everybody doing okay? Everybody good? Everybody good?
Fantastic.
Good?
Doing great.
All right. Good deal. Well, let's do a quick spin of our regular guests, and somebody's calling you out already, Dana.
I can multitask. I can multitask.
Wait, are you on another show?
No. However, at 8:30, I am going to launch because Brick Huntress is revealing her latest new thing, and she asked if I would at least be in the chat. So I may be multitasking around 8:30. So
Yoko's happening. You're finding another gig. You're jumping. I
am trying to help support my fellow AFILs on the Instagrams.
You're going to split Journey up and going to break the 80s. It's going to happen again. I can tell you right now.
Every time I do something on my own, you bring this up, and it never seems to change anything.
This is passive aggressive control right here. Anyway, Battery Power Bricks is here. Brick Jedi. Hello, everybody in the chat here. We do have another guest and possibly another guest after that going to show up here. But let's do a quick run through our normal panel of Old Gray Bricks and just see what's up. What's going up, Jeff? Flying that Canadian flag. I see it.
I had to, right? Because yeah. And I brought my trophy because you said to bring trophies. So I did.
What is that?
It's a trophy with baby.
It is a trophy.
Anyway, this is from I think Lego Universe. When I worked on that project, they gave us trophies.
Oh wow, cool.
So
participation awards,
something like that. Yeah, I forget what it was actually for, to be honest. I mean, it has a placard. It has a place for a placard, and there's like nothing on it. Right here. Nice mold marks though on the studs. But yeah. So not much happening. I've been busy sorting and taking things apart and trying to get cleaned up after Atlanta BrickCon. I've got bins of minifigures that I got through the weekend that I was there and stuff that I'm figuring out what to do with. That's about it. Not much going on.
Are you like me? Is it like you're just like 2 weeks of there's just boxes after a con everywhere in your house? You're like, desk can just sit there and there's just crap everywhere.
There's 2 boxes still upstairs, and I brought 3 of them down today. So yeah, pretty much.
The answer, I'll go ahead and answer that question, by the way, Minifigure Collector. No. He has at least 4 of my Space Babies.
And I have them safely secured in the trunk.
That sounds...
Well, we used to know how many humans would fit in the back of your trunk. Now, how many Space Babies fit in the back?
We could fit far more Space Babies than I've got sitting in the trunk right now. But yes, both yours and Meredith's Space Babies are in the trunk for when I see you next. So,
hello there, Stever, and hello, Teener. How are you? Good to see you. All right, Matt, what's going on in your world, man?
So I'm working on this really big mosaic project, and I ran out of base plates this weekend, so it came to a grinding halt. I was I don't know, I think I'm about 25% of the base plates were filled in. The only color I'm still missing is dark green, and so I've got all the dots I need. I just didn't have base plates, and so I placed an order for 40 of these babies from a US seller, and they showed up yesterday. So I am back to popping dots onto these plates, and the way this is going, I think it'll be done in time for Brick World Chicago. So that's pretty exciting. That's about it. I went to Walmart, stopped by Walmart, and I got some more of these like clear plastic containers that are handy for sorting Lego. And I haven't put anything in them yet, but they were on sale for like 26, and you got a packet of 12 transparent clear, pretty high thickness acrylic, translucent. So if you want to just glance up and be able to see right through and see what colors or what items are in them, I think they're quite useful for sorting. But that's all I got.
Those were the ones you had when I showed up.
Oh, and today's mat is brought to you by Serial Killer from Milk Toronto Cream Club.
In honor of our Canadian friends, and you have a Canadian hero on your shirt.
And yes, that's right. I've got Puck from Alpha Flight. The superhero shaped like a vulcanized piece of rubber plastic that gets batted around in a hockey game. But I got my
thank you for
my
enunciating,
Milk
by the
Toronto
way.
hat and my Puck Alpha Flight hero shirt on today. So I'm feeling very Canadian adjacent today. So.
Yes. Do you have a snippet of what you're doing so you can show our Lego Master friends?
I'll post it in the private chat. I'm keeping the whole thing kind of quiet until it's done. So I kind of want to just unveil it at Brick World Chicago and have people go like, "Holy cow!" So those of you who are in the know might have seen a picture of it, but the big unveiling, you'll have to come to Brick World Chicago for that.
I just want to be there to see you putting it together. I think that'll be fun to watch it slowly.
I may need your hands or something.
Yeah, well, that too.
I may need Dana's hands and Jeff's hands.
It's going to be a group project.
Set the thing up. And then if it falls over, I'll just tell you to stand there the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Good deal. My internet is getting kind of flaky, by the way, so just carry on if I'm not in it. All right, good deal. That's awesome. Let's go to Mr. Mark. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I went to the Walmarts today and got some sales. So I got the Star Wars 3-pack for $40.
Nice.
Pretty good value because I'm pretty sure this guy right here is $40 by itself.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good grab. And I got the T-Rex skeleton for $29.97, which is also not a bad deal. I like this one. I've been wanting this one for a while, more so than the other sets, because most of the other sets come with like a crappy Jeep and a really expensive dinosaur. But this one's nice. I like it. And then I also not on sale, but it just looked awesome. I got the new Hulkbuster. So
nice.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah, it's a really great looking set. I think this is a really good looking Hulkbuster. So I decided to get that. So that's kind of all my Lego news for the day. I have a Dragon of the Week back here, the Ice Dragon, but I'll let Small Paul talk about that on maybe next week.
Are you going to have him all? Is his school out all next week?
He was out this week, so he was at his mom's all this week. But he could be over next Thursday, so we can let him do Dragon of the Week next Thursday.
Cool. Yeah, it's odd. The sales schedule for my Walmarts and your Walmarts are different. So that was a weird echo. Am I echoing in somebody's thing?
You were roboticized there for a second for me.
Yeah, I got you. All right. Let's go to Dana. Dana, how are you?
I'm good. I first thought I was going to be building this Love and Thunder set, but I pulled the minifigures out and said that was enough. Then I've now switched to doing this one. However, I think I am going to build this monster just because it looks kind of cool. So that's
it's
what we're going to do while we're sitting here. Because Chris loves when I do this. Small flex. Small flex. But Yes, to answer the question from earlier, yes, I'm returning Chris's 4 minifigures I borrowed and Meredith's 4 minifigures or babies I borrowed, but I do have more. There we go. I was waiting for that.
A flex.
I do have a little baggie full of more, a little bigger than a dime bag. And then, as I did show off on Instagram earlier this week, I did build the mobile lab.
Yes.
And in honor of Chris, and I even made sure that the doors open up so you can move inside. So I'm going to build. I'm in the process of working on the Beta 1 command base, and then once I finish that one, I think I'm going to do a set of instructions in a big PDF of everything up to that point and call that Volume 1 of Baby Space, because I've had lots of people asking, so I figured I'd do instructions. But other than that, that's all I got for right now.
Good deal. Yes, my first space was the mobile lab, and it was I still, the reason I picked it is I knew it was gray instead of the blue, because gray was space color, and it had the symbol on it in gray and the green, but also it came with 2 dudes, and that was like the selling point. There was a range of that price range that Mom said, you can buy something this price. And I'm pointing at the Galaxy Explorer. No, this price. And so it was that. And I didn't realize until much later that was an American exclusive. That was not a European set kind of thing. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So you just reminded me of that with that ship, the new trans green windscreen in the Rocket Raccoon set.
Yes. Oh yeah. That looks awesome. So yeah, that, and they have that in trans red in the Monkey Kid space set. So it'd be cool to have a match of that in trans green. Yeah. Interesting enough, that windscreen in the mobile lab only came out one more time in a boat about in the mid 90s. So that's a fairly rare piece and everything. So, all right. So we have some of our Lego Master winners with us today, and they are our special guests. We have one more that has just dropped his flex in one screen and is about to join in another screen. And we do have our season 3 winner is coming. He's got some dog issues he's having to take care of, but he is coming along and everything, and possibly we'll have another guest, but I'm not betting on it just because he's already fallen asleep, and that's okay. So anyway, so let's go around. Let's talk to our. We'll just go ahead and start with Tyler. Tyler, it has been 2 seasons, but probably 3 years since Lego Masters for you. Is that right?
Yeah, it has been 3 years. So 2020. This time 2020 was when our season was airing.
Yeah. So tell us what's been up and what you've been doing.
What's been up? Well, one of the things I've been doing is one of the things I did this afternoon, which was a virtual event for Adobe, actually. And so basically the way those work is I show up, I do a virtual event, show up online like this, which is kind of why I got my cool setup going. Normally I have this backed up to where you just like see through the glass doors into the rest of the house, which is not as cool as seeing Lego and like actually having it lit up. So we built Winnie the Pooh set, or at least that's what I'm working on finishing. We built part of it. So I'm building this Tigger. Tigger looks a little more ferocious than I remember him being. But yeah, Winnie the Pooh set. I think Winnie the Pooh's in there, but he's like in the stomach of him or something. Yeah. So I'm building a Tigger set.
I will never look at the behind of Tigger the same way ever again.
Right? Yeah, this piece is littered throughout this set, and every time I like cringe. Every time I pick one up. I wonder if the set designer was like, oh, I'm going to mess with people. They're going to have fun. They're going to have to touch this piece over and over. And then at the end, they're going to be like, guess what you've been touching the whole time?
Ask the guy in our lug who brought an AT-AT to our show what happened with a pink flower got on his AT-AT. So.
I've seen people do that. It's fantastic.
Or if you build a cat in general and the internet says, oh, where's the butt? It's a Lego thing. I don't know what it is. They just all over it.
So your family has grown. Tell us about your family. How is your wife, your partner? How are things going?
She is probably a little stressed right now because she's taking care of both kiddos in the evening time as they start to melt down. So she's doing fantastic. So we've got Timothy. He's 2.5, and he loves Lego. He's in there watching a TV show right now. I think he's watching Daniel Tiger, which is like his favorite. Oh, Tiger! He should play with this when I'm done. But he loves Lego. And then we have Anna, and she is 6 months old, and she's
awesome.
the one that melts down the quickest in the evenings here. But everybody's doing good. My wife was a piano teacher. She was teaching piano for a while, but this past year she decided to set that aside because mommy duties were taking over and consuming most of her time. And she loves it though. So we're all doing good. We're very thankful, very blessed.
Awesome. And just since we are discussing, and you have your season 1 trophy, we have a guest. Here he is.
Oh.
Look at there.
Boone, long time no see.
Hi, everybody. It is.
You've got a cool trophy there too.
Yeah.
A far cooler trophy than anybody else has got too. Far more exclusive. Dude, that thing is gorgeous. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Oh. Oh.
It's space color.
So Boone, what time is it in Billund right now that you're gracing us with your presence?
It is 2:16 a.m. Can you hear me? I'm trying to talk.
Yes, you have that 2 a.m. voice going on.
Good.
I don't want to
a little bit quiet.
House.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. They can hear me up there. If they were awake, they could hear me right now. I'm just hoping that I'm just quiet enough not to actually wake them. So, and I no longer have a studio, so I'm just like sitting on the couch.
You have like the best studio though. Wow.
Yeah. I no longer have a studio that I can show on public streams. But yeah. So here I am. Thank you. Good to see you, Tyler. Good to see you, Mark. Good to see you, everyone.
Awesome to see you, Boone.
Thanks for having me. I don't know how long I'm gonna hang in there because I woke up to do this, and I'm gonna go back to bed pretty soon.
All right,
so
that's a pretty good excuse.
It is. Our season 3 winner is here, but since you're season 3A or holiday season, why don't you catch us up while you're still awake about what has been up since you won Lego Masters?
Oh man, I don't know. I don't even know where to begin. Okay, so I guess I didn't win Lego Masters all that long ago. So since I won Lego Masters, I took a trip to London and then came back to Billund, and I work for Lego, and so I go to work every day and play with Lego. And I don't really have any Lego at home anymore. It's really weird.
But now you find all sorts of cool Lego paraphernalia.
I do, yeah. So living in Denmark, I love going to thrift stores. I always have, but I don't know if you notice, being my experience in the US as a Lego fan was that you did not typically find Lego at yard sales and thrift stores. And if you did, it was a glorious day to find one thing, right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Lego is not a thrift store find, but in Billund and around Billund and in Denmark, Lego is a thrift store find. So especially weird Lego stuff. The last thing I found was an umbrella that was available at the employee shop 10 years ago. And it's got minifigures all around the edge of the umbrella, so I bought it because I've never seen one before. So lots of weird stuff like that. And so I like to show it, and I like to post it, and I like to buy it. But then I end up giving this stuff away because it's cool. It's also cool to have things for guests that come that like Lego, but don't necessarily know what they're looking for because every Lego person like already has too much, right? So it's fun to be able to give them something like an umbrella or like a Lego branded like laptop bag or something like that. Those are the things that I think are kind of fun and weird now that I'm here.
That's awesome. So like for us, it's like here in Georgia, there's just Coca-Cola stuff everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's Coca-Cola stuff. So for you, it's just Lego stuff. It's just everywhere, right?
Yep. It's true.
So basically, there's just so much Lego in Denmark. It's just in the streets. People just throw it out everywhere. It's chaos, right?
Yeah, you wouldn't believe it's like, I mean, you're half right. I mean, and it's half a joke and it's half serious. But it's like it literally is like there's stuff here, and there's so many employees that, you know. There's a lot of people that work in certain departments of Lego that like it's just a job for them. Yes, there are those of us who ended up here because it's like our dream, right? And it's like the Lego system itself is our passion. But there are other people who like it's just a laptop bag, right? Because it's their job. And so yeah, there's like sometimes that type of stuff does just end up being somebody's garbage, and then it's like somebody else's treasure. But then there's like you'll find Lego bricks in the weirdest places, like you know, just random, like you might walk into a meeting room and there's just a bowl of Lego bricks as a centerpiece, you know, of the table, and then people just kind of fiddle with Lego bricks like during the meeting. Or I remember one time, like somewhere in like Legoland, I mean, it makes sense in Legoland, but somewhere in the hotel, there's this hallway that has like glass sconces on the wall, like every few meters, and they're just like filled with Lego bricks, and so it's just like Lego bricks are just used as decoration in random places.
It's
around
like potpourri.
Billund.
It's like potpourri. It's just so abundant. It's everywhere.
Yeah, and then there's those giant bricks that you know, you see. I don't know if you've ever seen the giant bricks that are in front of Lego House, but there's also some that are just like sitting out in a field, like just outside of town, and I think that they're just sitting in a field that Lego happens to own, like waiting to get used somewhere else. So it's like giants, like.
Is that how they like mark their territory?
Yeah, warning the giants not to walk into Billund because you might step on these giant Lego bricks.
Awesome.
Lego everywhere. I wanted to ask this question, and if you can't answer it, that's fine. But like at your workplace, is it like you can you just like go in a room and there's like every part and every color, or if you're working on a project, do you request specific parts and specific colors? Like I'm kind of curious. I'm assuming there's an enormous inventory, but I'm also assuming that like it's not all at your fingertips. Is that fair?
How do I say? Yeah, I would just say that like there is a huge inventory available at your fingertips, and you know, if you needed to order something specific, there are ways to do that. Just like you could imagine working at any company, like some department is responsible for getting like some samples or some prototypes, you know, to the people that need it.
Okay.
So yeah, there are ways of getting, you know, that type of stuff, but there is also, so it's kind of both. There is also a very large, how did you say it? At your fingertips.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a big at your fingertips room.
Okay.
I'm using your words.
Like a playroom almost. Like you could just go in and just like try things out physically, like touch it and.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just kind of.
Yeah. There are lots of spaces. There are lots of spaces where you can go.
Is there a river of ABS and maybe some small
not in our
orange
building.
spaceman Oompa Loompas stirring it and things like that? Is that going on?
That may exist. That may exist somewhere in Billund. You know, I seem to think that like about every other building in Billund is owned by Lego or some part of Lego. So that probably exists somewhere in Billund, but I haven't seen it. It's not in my building. I think we are the Oompa Loompas in my building.
Oh. That's awesome. All right, Nick, so he's coming soon, so just hang out. Let's go with our season 2 winners here, Mark and Steven, and you guys have been on the show, but catch us up. It's been what now 2 years since you guys filmed and won, right?
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a while, but yeah, we'll start with you, bro. Yeah, it was. So our season aired the year after Tyler and Amy's. We unfortunately filmed during COVID and all that disaster that happened there. So our situation was different, but it really presents pretty much the same way, except everyone's standing just a little bit farther apart. Yeah. But yeah. So since then, a lot of Lego stuff, a lot of building. We both work at Atlanta Brick Co. now. So Steven used to be a welder before and during and after filming the show, but so we both work there now. Both work with Lego on a daily basis, and just having a good time. Recently, we had a big Dude Perfect cruise. That was a lot of fun. So just doing really kind of. The models keep getting bigger and bigger, and it keeps getting like shorter and shorter time to make them. So we're just hoping the trend reverses at some point. But yeah, it's been fun.
Yeah, a lot of it's still the same though. We're still doing shows. We're still doing stuff at the store. We're sort of thinking, okay, it's gonna play off, it's gonna go down, but it kind of the excitement around the show has still stayed the same for us. And for people that we run into. So that's been very fun to see. But yeah, people call us up. People want cool stuff, and we're here to.
It's kind of crazy. We still probably take a couple selfies a day. Yeah, just because of where we work, and so it's inundated with the Lego Masters.
On a busy day, it's like 6 or 7, but on a quiet day, it's at least 1. So we make someone's day. It's pretty fun that way. I think it helps to work at a big Lego outlet. So that
we're pretty accessible there. Yeah. So it's been a blast, and we've recently been working on renovating our studios. So we've been replacing a lot of display cases, shelving, and cleaning up all that. So that too. So plus not only all these crazy projects, but also to reorganize all of our stuff too. So it's been great.
Do I notice that you are actually sorting those colors now?
Not really. They're about the same. I mean, so actually, the one adaptation we have done is we've separated purple and pink into 2 different color groups now. Very important.
That's the insanity.
Huge step forward in our sorting process. It's going to complicate things immensely, but
well, we have like the headlight bricks sorted and a couple other things.
Technic and minifigure parts.
So we're kind of dabbling in the more engineering side of things, but we're still who we are. So I've recently gone into Australia seasons for Lego Masters, which are amazing. I finally finished season 3. Check it out.
Amateurs with your sorting.
There's a question in the chat. It's for Boone, I believe. What has been the hardest thing about you used to living there? In Billund, what's the hardest thing?
What's the hardest thing? I mean, all the stuff in the grocery stores is in Danish. So like all the packaging, so if you imagine going into a grocery store and there's like 10,000 messages to see, on like every package. And it's all in a language that is not your language. That's really hard to get used to. Most Danish people speak some English or speak very well, very fluent English. So it's not hard to communicate, but it is like walking into the grocery store and like literally everything is in another language, and that's strange. Also, Mark and Steven mentioned the people that come into their store and want a selfie. For me, it's people at Lego House each time I go with my family, and they're almost always Italians because season 1 was aired in Italy before they had their own season. And Tyler, I think they dubbed our voices in Italian.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm imagining myself sounding like Mario or something.
Yeah. So
Tyler.
So I've posed with a lot of Italian people from Italy for selfies.
Well, how about you, Tyler? Do you get recognized as much? Apparently in Italy you will, but
yeah, in Italy I'm going to be famous. Yeah, so I've had a number of people here. Occasionally we still get recognized. There's a local like fair that happens in our town like every year, and there's this like circus troupe that apparently like this whole group watched us. So every time we go to this fair, they're there, and we sit down to watch their show, and they always come out. They're like, "Oh, it's the Lego Masters." So it's just a weird thing. Like, I'm going to be entertained, and y'all are like coming out and being like, "Hey, who are you guys?"
So you're popular with the circus folk, are you? Is that what?
Yeah, yes, I guess. There's another funny one where I was at a deacons conference for our denomination. And so it's basically this big gathering of a bunch of deacons up in Chicago. And so we were all just kind of hanging around, sitting around, eating dinner or something. And this one guy is just like looking at me.
Yes.
Like, and he's like, "Have you ever been to our church before?" I'm like, "In Tennessee? No, I've never even like been to Tennessee." And he's just like, "Huh. Hey, you look really familiar. You're sure?" And I was like, "Well, have you ever been to, Florida?" No, never been. So he's just like, "Man, we have like never crossed paths, but he recognized me." I'm like, I don't recognize you. And somebody else in the group is like, "Oh, maybe he's on TV or something. Maybe he's some like famous guy." Just joking around. And I was like, "Oh, did you happen to watch a show called Lego Masters?" And he was like, "That's it. You were on Lego Masters." And it was just, nobody else had any idea. Everybody else is just like, "What? This sounds like some stupid nerdy thing." Yeah, this one guy, he was like, "Yeah, me and my kids watched it. That's so cool." So he took selfie, sent it to his kids. His kids, of course, recognized me right away.
Well, and you did several voice impressions of deacons, and I've met all them, so that's good. Just like that.
Yep.
All right, that's awesome. So, has there been moments for the rest of the other two that you have been like people stared at you, the long stare, going, I know you from somewhere. I know you from somewhere. Have y'all had one of those?
So for us, it's always the second. What's up, Nick?
Hello, everybody.
Okay. So for us, it's always the second glance. So the beard throws people off the first time. I'm out in the floor more often than Mark is. So that's pretty funny. But it's always like, like that. And then they like lean back in or whatever. And sometimes they'll grab their phone and then they'll like kneel over there, like, "What in the world?" And then they'll come back with phone in hand and be like, "Are you?" And I say, "Yes, I am." And they freak out right there. So like, "Oh my God." So yeah, it's always the second glance, and happens a lot of shows. But
do you ever mess with people and be like, no?
Sometimes I do.
So at Brick Fair. So this is a funny one. At Brick Fair, as soon as I got there, there was like a group of guys from Nova Lug, and they were like, "Hey, let's go play Ultimate Frisbee." I'm like, "Sure." I've been sitting on a plane for like 8 hours. Let's go. And so me and Sean Mayo, we just like took off, and we were hanging out with them. And this one guy, we were just like taking a water break, and this one guy's like, "You look a lot like Tyler from Lego Masters." I was like, "Oh yeah, I get that all the time." But, he's way more handsome than I am, of course. Blah 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 blah. And then that was it. It didn't go any further than that. And then I think it was Sean who was watching this take place, and he was like, "That guy was dead serious. He wasn't making a joke." And I missed it completely. And then Sean later was like, "Hey, so are you and the other Lego Masters doing blah 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 blah?" And then he was like, "Oh wait, you are the guy. You are him." And I was like, "Yeah." So it was really it was fun. He was like, "I am so sorry." Oh, actually, no, that was Chicago. That was Brickworld Chicago.
All right, that's awesome. That's hilarious. All right, so our final guest of the night is here.
Hello.
Hello,
see y'all.
3 winner. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so sorry I'm late. The pupper has calmed down. He's just lying in front of me now, so I feel confident being here. with him, right? Yeah. And everything's going well. Everything's going well. Hasn't been too long. Although Boone is now the most recent Lego Master, so glad he's got that.
There you go. There you go.
And yeah,
so tell us what
good.
you've been up to since your win.
What's that?
What have you been up to since your win?
It's definitely been busy. Definitely been busy this year, especially. Looks like it's going to have a lot going on. I've got multiple trips planned, which I'm super duper stoked for. A lot of the stuff that I've like done previously, but I'm sure it'll be a little bit more fun. You know, having some cool new stuff to kind of go with it. I did a meet and greet at a Lego store out in Vancouver recently. That was like a really kind of fun, special experience. Honestly, just the excitement from kids and even some parents and adult fans was pretty surreal to experience. And it was just awesome seeing people, you know, so excited about the show in general, and for me and Stacy and stuff. So, yeah, it was just really, really cool getting to do some stuff like that for sure.
Cool. All right, so let's talk about. They've talked about. I'm having my internet's kind of bad, so if y'all talk over me if you need to. So, all right, so these guys have talked about life after, and yours is pretty short. But you had to wait.
I can add more.
but you've had to wait the longest to announce your your season. How did that go? It's different than these guys. So how did that go?
I would say that wasn't too bad. I certainly had some close calls. I feel like it was just very interesting because, like, especially because I was very lucky, obviously, to have like my girlfriend at the time, fiance now, like come out, and she was at a lot of events with me, and so sometimes it was just very easy to be talking about the show experience, and it was hard for her to not bring that in as well. And like her being there made me also like I wanted to talk about her being there, and so I would be like, oh yeah, and Sunita, she called me about something. She wasn't there in person or whatever. Like there were a lot of little things like that were really hard to like not trip up over. But it did just stink to have to wait. But at the same time, it was kind of like nice knowing, like making all my friends and family like having to go through the whole process and the whole time just like being like, oh, you are in for a surprise. Like you're gonna have to wait. I obviously knew that, you know, we had some close calls, I would say, throughout our journey with Lego Masters as well. So I kind of liked that because like a lot of my friends and family were very much like, oh, you won for sure. Like there's no way. Cause like they just don't have a sense of like, you know, the broader Lego community and stuff. I'm just the Lego guy they know, and they know I'm pretty good with bricks. So they were all very overconfident. I kind of liked that I had like something to almost humble them a little bit. So they weren't as sure about things, but obviously we were very fortunate that we survived throughout our close calls and everything worked out in the end, and it was super awesome. So yeah, but it was both a long wait, but also kind of fun to have them have to wait it out and see what happened.
Nick, the week before you won, we had our annual general meeting for the Toronto group, and there were so many people asking you questions there, and I literally was sitting behind you, and I was like, I think you won. But you know what? Like everybody was asking you, and you were pretty good with saying no and stuff. But you have to wait to see. But it was just kind of funny because it was like, huh, he seems quite happy or something like. I don't know. I kind of thought
really hard, isn't it? It's like
I knew
really,
a Canadian
really
would win because
True.
So you mean you didn't like rent out a church and have balloons stuck in the ceiling ready for the last episode and invite all your friends over for your party when they announced the show?
Yeah, funnily enough, we were actually really, really lucky in that we managed to get something organized to have all of our friends and family at a theater. But in order to ensure that wasn't a dead giveaway, I told all my friends and family that all 4 finale teams were getting this same treatment. So they thought there were 4 parties happening for the finale when there was really only one. Some people called me out like, this is the only party happening tonight, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. What about that, Mark and Steven? What did y'all tell people?
I didn't say nothing. I was still working as a welder. I didn't have any contact with any direct contact with the community or friends. Other people were organizing it without really I didn't even know there were balloons until I got there.
I didn't tell them to put up the balloons. I just said we need a big space. We're gonna have some friends at the store, and it was gonna be fun. But they that was a little bit suspect. I'm like, there's a lot of balloons out there.
Guys,
It'd be kind of a bummer if we lost, and
that's what literally everyone said. Like, oh man, they got balloons. It's crazy. funny though. Our boss Chris, who attended, a different Chris, not this Chris up here, told his business partner, "Oh, it just came out in Europe. Oh, that Zach and Wayne one. Oh no, yeah, it just came out. Hide stuff out." And my other boss is a great guy, maybe a little more susceptible to these sort of jokes. He's like, "Oh no, seriously?" So he was sending me. Everyone else was really excited. He was spending the whole thing like, "Wait a minute, is he still winning? No way!" And then we went. And he looks over at that. It's pretty funny, but no, we did get a big space for that, and yeah, it was fun.
All right, good deal. So, Old Gray Bricks, y'all have questions for these guys or whatever before we keep moving forward here? Anybody else have a question?
I might be pretty close to going back to bed.
Boone, you need to go back to bed, dude.
So,
wow, Boone, come on. Didn't your week of the holiday special prepare you for late nights and no sleep?
It did, but I have to. I'm just.
Wait a minute. Let me just say this right now.
My normal life now. So I have to actually go to work tomorrow and function like a person who could have gotten a reasonable night of sleep.
But I'm going to say this: of all the Lego Masters here during their competition, Boone showed up at my house. None of the rest of y'all did. All right, so I'm just going to say, there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
It sounded like Boone had a lot more flexibility during his time than ours. I'm just going to throw that.
Listen,
out there.
I make flexibility in my life. I just walk through life creating flexibility.
Not all of us are as powerful as the Boone Langston. I'm so sorry.
Gotta say, Boone, you have the coolest trophy out of all of us, and no pun intended.
Yeah.
Pun intended.
Listen, you guys. Each time I've seen one of your trophies, I've thought like, oh, it's missing the snowflake. But then I'm like, oh no, this is the only one with the snowflake. So you guys should just build like something unique for each of your trophies.
That's a good idea.
Sticks out the top like that.
The golden snowflake.
I mean, wait, everybody's trophy has the golden brick on top, though, do they not?
You got ours.
They're just tiny. I mean,
it's not as easy to see. Yeah, it's not as easy to see from across
I can only do this for another couple weeks, so I better take advantage. But like, I'm pretty sure it is at least somewhat cool. I have 2 trophies.
That is a bit of a flex.
Right? Gotta count for something.
We may want to have Nick explain that one, actually.
Yeah.
Did you have to build the second one yourself?
No, they also built that inside. Funnily enough, it also arrived broken.
So kind of
I have 2 broken trophies, technically. But luckily, this one's like a perfectly clean break. So this one will be very easy to fix, and it is perfect otherwise. So no complaints.
What are they doing at the border with your trophies, dude? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And they shipped this one in like a Pelican case, like it was foam wrapped, like perfectly, like
So, as much as I hate the idea of like breaking Lego and using non-Lego stuff, like these are glued. I feel like a threaded rod or something in the middle of that break point would have been advantageous.
I would agree. Yes, I would.
Because I know every single one of these trophies is broken at that same spot.
Oh,
yeah,
well, actually, no. The other one broke right here, like lower. Wasn't at the neck.
Interesting.
So yeah, but you're right. The support rod was there. Would fix the problem regardless.
I may
the only one that's not broken, apparently.
What
So
do you like call shop at home and go, look, my Lego trophy's broke. Can y'all send another?
I should just see how many I can rack up, right?
So we up from the studio. We heard about Tyler's experience, and we're like, yeah, I'll be right there. Just give me like an hour. Give me an hour. We'll be right there. I'll take care of it. You can save shipping. It'll be great. So, yeah.
That is nice. That is nice to be able to do. But although I thought it took a really long time for you guys to get yours.
Yeah, you guys had actually finished filming by the time we got ours, and like a day after.
Thought so.
So yeah, you were probably filming with this one actually. Possibly.
I don't know how many they made, but
that's true. No idea.
I do know this one was the one on set because it had the confetti on it when it arrived still. So I mean, unless it was it wouldn't have been the confetti from your year then, because yours was lost, was it not?
Good to know. So.
Yeah. But I will say, I totally agree. Boone's is the coolest by far.
See, everybody's jealous of your trophy, dude.
I should have put the light. Let me see if I can turn the lights on.
Ooh.
I left the remote back at our place, the Lego store.
Wait, yours lights up.
Oh, he had to move, not the movie stars to get down in there. Oh,
it's the same lights I use in the inside of my brew pub. Yeah. Chris doesn't like it when I refer to them as the fairy lights, but that's okay.
I didn't. They're non-Lego production lights. Oh, it does light up. That's awesome.
So good.
Beautiful.
That's awesome.
There you go. Hey guys, on that, I'm gonna say goodnight. Thank you so much.
Boone, thank you.
Great to see you, Boone.
Awesome to see you, Boone.
To all my fellow Lego Masters contestants and winners here, you guys are just incredible inspirations. Keep being awesome. To all my old gray bricksters here, you guys are something cool. No, but seriously, there's almost nobody else I would do this for. So Chris, thank you for inviting me, and the rest of you guys, I hope to get to see you all face to face again. And until then, go build something amazing. Thanks for having me, everybody.
See you, man.
Awesome.
Enjoy your time together. I hope the rest of this stream is fun, but I'm gonna go sleep. Bye.
Bye.
Good night.
Is this the first
Good
time
morning.
that all
More
four
than likely.
winners were in the same chat?
I think
Yes.
so.
I would say
think
so.
In fact, Nick, this is the first time I've ever spoken to you. Actually,
I think so. Yeah.
I've
Very nice
seen
meeting
you
you, Mark.
around, but I've never said hi. So hi.
Yeah, yeah. Nice to chat finally, Steven. Nice to chat finally.
And just in deference to Boone, I contacted him a couple of weeks ago. We had this scheduled earlier, and we had to change some things and everything. But I had messaged it. He goes, "Dude, Thursday I have to work Friday, but that's a laid back day." I said, "Dude, you don't have to make it. Just make a video. We'll pop it in and everything." And we messaged back and forth. And he gave me a plan. He says he was going to sleep through it, and I was okay with that. He would make a video and send it to me real quick, or he'd show up. And so homeboy showed up. So he did that for us, but he did that for y'all because y'all are a special band of bros and right now for being Lego Masters and everything. So that's awesome. All right. Any questions you guys have for these in the chat? Drop some questions that you have for these Lego Masters and everything. Can I just say, though, it would have been really bad for Boone to come on here had he not won. He's having you with 2 trophies and he still doesn't have one. That would have been terrible, by the way. So
I would definitely have not have brought up the second one. I just would have stayed on the floor out of sight. Yeah, no way.
That's crazy.
And remember, both of these aren't mine. It's worked out that Stacy's gonna have one. I feel like it's obviously works out. Mark and Steven, you're physically together right now in the same place. So and you can have one trophy. Tyler and Amy, you also share the same home. So having one trophy works there. But I'm like, when you have 2 people that don't live in the same place, does it really make sense to only have one trophy? Like shared custody?
Shared custody, yeah.
Like this doesn't fit in a suitcase. I can't just like carry this on a plane casually. So like I'm kind of glad things worked out the way they did. I'm very thankful the first one broke. As weird as that may be.
As a result, season 4 will have no trophy because Nick's got
Probably. There's just going to be a picture printed out on the podium.
oh, and then it likes your lighting there, Tyler.
Ooh, Stan.
Oh, that's high praise. Thank you.
Yeah. So
you're the lighting master.
He is. I don't know, Brick and Nick, if you know Ant Bandit that's in our chat. He's on Instagram as Ant Bandit. He does really great animations. Okay, good.
I have seen stuff. Absolutely. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He just dropped one today with adventure figures or whatever.
It's Johnny Thunder Thursday. Come on, Chris.
Johnny Thunder. What I say? Anyway. Yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. So here, you know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna mention a person's name. I have his picture. And I think, if I know correctly, I believe all of you have at least a connection to this fella right here.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Nick, I know you do as well, correct?
Sorry, no.
No.
I just missed what you were saying. I apologize. I had to give the doggo back.
You recognize this man.
So all of you have a connection. You know Simon Liu. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes. No. I've known Simon from very early on. I think I've known him since like before Torlug and 2010 probably, maybe a little earlier.
So there are special people that you meet that inspire you to build, and I would say all of you guys could probably say Simon is one of those for you guys. Would y'all all say that? Would that be? Yeah, that'd be correct. All right, so that's another connection from y'all. So a lot of y'all are connected to the old Iron Builder, Flickr days. Is that correct?
Mm.
So did that prepare y'all for the show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how?
I think it's worth mentioning that Sean Mayo has beaten both Steven and I and Tyler.
Yep.
So he's got a great record against Lego Masters. I will say
a little shout out to them. But no, the Iron Builder's crazy.
Yeah, where's that guy? Why isn't he out on the show?
What games?
No, I don't know yet. But no, the Iron Builder is great. You have to build a lot of models in a very short amount of time up against a really talented opponent who's usually paired up pretty well in skill level against you. So yeah, that was definitely trial by fire a little bit. There was a lot of pressure. You have to photograph all your stuff, and then you have to post it, and then you have to tear it apart, and then you have to decide like who's posting it where or whatever, and then move on to the next one right away. Keep making new ideas. That was that's really hard.
It's very similar, just in its general essence, to the way Lego Masters functions. It seems that a lot of the builds that come out of Iron Builder have kind of all three of the things that the Lego Masters show is looking for: technical ability, creativity, and storytelling. And everybody kind of inherently packs all of those things into those builds, and then you're given the time limit and the presentation of your story and that kind of stuff. So I think it's something that really pretty well prepares you for it.
I've actually never done an Iron Builder, so I cannot speak on that one. I've seen it a lot, though. I feel like I can get a sense of exactly what these guys are talking about.
But that's basically what your Twitch stream is like a perpetual Iron Builder.
Sure. Yep.
So I feel like that was your training.
Yeah, you Iron Builder live. You knock out really cool mocks live on Twitch, right?
Yep, I do indeed. Well, I mean, really cool is subjective, but I appreciate you thinking so. But I definitely had a lot of fun. And I mean, I did go pretty hardcore, and I did like most of season 1's challenges on stream with a time limit, and then I did some of season 2 as well. So I did do some very specific training on tackling Lego Masters challenges in a time limit. So it was definitely a good way to prepare, and I've recommended it to people who've asked me. So very interesting building on a clock for sure.
Oh wait, I'll let you.
So did you build 8 hours straight, or did you give yourself a little break?
No, I did like 3 hours. I gave myself 3 hours total. I kept the scale of the challenges a little smaller. Oh gosh, the horror. I gave myself 3 hours total. I wasn't going too unreasonable with it. And I don't have 5 million bricks. I have quite a few, but it's not as easy to build big, large creations. So a smaller time limit made more sense.
And they're probably not color and part sorted at the same time, are they?
They're a mix. They're a mix. So
yeah.
I feel like you guys were catching so much flack for your color sorting earlier, by the way.
Amazed.
And like,
any chance I have to drop the bomb on them, I do.
So I support it. It's a very good way to do creative building. Because if you can't find the piece you're looking for, then you're in a bin of a bunch of useless pieces. Where if you're looking for like some unique white curve and you don't find it, you'll be looking through a bin of other unique white curves, and maybe you'll find the piece you need in the end. Right? It makes so much sense.
No, it was the other one, but yeah.
It was your fellow Canadian that was making fun of that. So so it's just real.
Yeah.
All right. So here's a question. So let's start with Tyler. Since the other seasons have come out and everything, name a challenge that you would love to build from one of the other series. What give you just off the top of your head?
The one that I jumped off the couch when I saw the preview for season 2. So I forget which episode ended. They showed the preview for the puppet challenge. And I like jumped off the couch and I'm just like, oh, I want to do it. Oh, I was so disappointed and excited at the same time. So that was my favorite challenge that you guys got to do. So I'm a little bit disappointed that I missed out on that one. I love like characters and motion. I feel like that's like a challenge that's like tailor made for my building style.
It really was, yeah.
All right. Mark and Steven, a challenge from one of the other seasons that you really wanted to do or wish you could have.
Okay, well, I'll start by saying I'm super glad I wasn't on season 3. Because all of them were really fun, but monstrous. I'm really glad I wasn't on season 3. But I will say, I thought the half and half challenge from season 1, where you cut something in half and build the other half, looked extremely fun. They do it on Australia all the time. I've always wanted to have a crack at it. It looks really cool. So that was definitely something very interesting.
Ooh, that was going to be
we need to cut your trophy in half. Cut your trophy in half and then build the other half. That's what you got to do.
Well,
One day,
Nick will
maybe
just
we'll
take the
have to
2
do
halves. And Nick would just take his 2 half trophies and put them together again.
Good solution. Good solution.
Yeah.
All right, Nick. So I guess you looking backwards.
Don't skip.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mark. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay. So I would have said half and half challenge too, because I really liked that idea, and it also was very effective in Australia. So the challenge, I'm going to buck that answer by saying I would have built underwater. That's a challenge I wanted to do.
Yeah, it's really one.
Come
So
on.
Nick? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Nick,
go
that was
on.
your- But I saw that and I was just waiting for it in our season, and we actually heard that they were. The producers mentioned it to the head producers, like, "Hey, we got to do this underwater challenge. Australia did it; was great." And then the main producer's like, "I just don't see it." And then, like later, halfway through the season, he's like, "Hey, did you hear about this underwater challenge?" Like, "Yeah, I told you earlier." It's like you said no, and it's like, "Oh, I did." Yeah. So it's a convoluted situation. It almost made it under our season. I was so looking forward to it. But anyway, sorry, Nick, if I stole your answer.
Yeah, now I gotta think of another one. I will know I was hoping for the underwater challenge as well. I was like waiting. I'm like season 3, like we've seen it in Australia. I'm like, there's no way it's not gonna make it in. And then season 3 is like, we're gonna do like almost every challenge completely new and like different. I was like it was like obviously it's exciting because they're all new, but then I'm like, oh, there were so many cool challenges I've seen that like I would love to try.
I will say, out of season like 2 and 3, I would have much preferred to be on season 3. The challenges seemed really balanced in terms of like creative, technical, like all that.
I still think they weren't in the right order, though. They put some challenges later that I think would have been better earlier in the show. Yeah. Like I'm trying to think which one it was, but I don't recall which one it was, to be honest with you. But
well, you didn't get underwater. You did get a hose that squirts water. Is that right?
Yeah,
Nick?
we did. That was like, while we obviously things worked out for that one, but that was probably still my least favorite challenge. Like in just terms of like, it was not. It felt less like a Lego challenge and more like a water challenge. And like we're on Lego Masters, not Water Masters, so it just didn't quite feel like it added up correctly. So yeah, that one was an interesting one for sure. I do also really love cut in half, though, I want to say, and I actually did that one like on my own. I had my dad cut a gaming controller in half and we glued Lego onto the side. So like I love that challenge so much, I literally wanted to do it myself. So
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of that one too. And then
the water
I feel like any kind of bridge challenge equivalent seems awesome to me. Like just the opportunity to really push the boundaries of Lego, and like seeing it like crack literally under something, I think is, I don't know, extra special. So
I was just going to say the water hose challenge definitely did eliminate all the non-hosers. So.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I had not heard that one yet. So kudos to you.
There we go, folks.
Drops the trophy.
Oh,
that is good. That's good.
I lost so much money.
Wait, who stood up and said that?
Oh, I was messing with Greg a little bit when he came on right after that episode aired. And we're all like, "Oh, Greg, what happened?" I'm like, "I lost so much money." I was like, I had that on him. I didn't. I was just a joke. So I'm sorry. I can't resist. I know Greg pretty well. He's a good friend of mine. So yeah.
Yeah, Greg was on the show, and I did just flat out ask him, and how does it feel to know that you let America down? And he laughed it off, sort of, I guess, but he never came back. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. Pink Will. I was waiting. It took us a whole hour to get to Pink Wills and her love of Justin Trudeau to make a comment there. So
I think Pink Wheels needs to come up for Bricks in the Six.
Mm-hmm.
In Toronto. Yeah.
Well,
and speaking of the legendary Simon, that'll be a good place to see him.
Yep.
Luckily, we're getting Meredith and Brian to come to Chicago with us, so that will probably be going to be their first adult vacation without Natalie ever. So
wow.
Yeah, so they're gonna. So Chris, we may get to see Fun Meredith like you got to see Fun Dana last year. So that may happen. That may happen. So.
You gonna take Meredith to the beer draft?
I think Meredith will probably drag us to the beer draft.
All right, so we only got a few more minutes left. We're going to cut it off here in just a little bit, but just the three teams there and everything. Any advice? Because obviously they're recruiting, casting, and stuff like that. What is your advice to somebody who may be about to show up on the show? What would your advice be? 3 months out from filming, let's just say.
Okay, I got one thing. Take collagen.
Collagen.
Collagen. It's a protein. You can have it in a shake. It's easy. It makes your skin, hair, fingernails tougher, more resilient. We've been taking it for years because we work with Lego every day, and we were noticing a difference because our co-stars on Lego Masters were having serious hand issues, a lot of bleeding, and we were not. So it really helps a lot. So, yeah. Super useful, yes. Yeah.
Did y'all just give like makeup advice for and for
it's science? Your skin is going to be tougher if you take certain vitamins. I'll give him something a little more poetic.
I think there's no rules against performance enhancing drugs.
There's Ethan right there. Don't come in after episode 3.
What's up, Ethan? But no, if you do want to get on the show, you got to listen to the judges. You got to listen to them if they have an opinion, they have something they want to say. If they think you're going in an odd direction, their advice is invaluable. Don't dismiss it. They really know what they're talking about. Definitely pay attention to the judges. It needs to be from you, but it needs to be to them. It's to the judges. It's from you to them. You want to just build it just for yourself, that's fine, but the judges might not like it. So it's got to be from you, from what you have, to the judges.
All right, good deal. Anybody else?
Yeah, going along the same lines as Mark, I would say endurance training I think would be extremely valuable. Yeah, because gosh, do I wish I had like slept better during some of the show. I feel like if I just had better endurance in general, I probably would have made some better decisions at for certain challenges, perhaps. And I think that was just evident from like everyone pretty much. Like, you could tell the people who were the most fit took the longest to hit like a point of like maybe burnout or, fatigue. So yeah, the better in shape you can be, that'll go a long, long way.
Okay.
Because it really is a marathon, not a sprint. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess I would say the things that worked the best for us were just those sort of the planning stages. So learn how to really plan well, be able to estimate how long things will take. Also just fleshing out an entire idea ahead of time. That was actually what we did primarily in training, was not like how to put pieces together. That you'll figure out on the fly, but really what we focused on ahead of time was, okay, how are we going to approach the challenges mentally, creatively? Are we going to, how are we going to take a random concept, which they're probably going to give us, and how do we realize that? What's our story going to be? What's our, how are we going to visualize that and tell a story? So those were the things that really worked well for us. It was just those kind of pre-thought planning. We also did a lot of like making sure that we kind of came up with just a bunch of random ideas that hadn't really been done before, both stories. Actually, yeah, that was what we did. We came up with a list of like stories that we thought we might be able to tell. So we just kind of had that whole big list like in the back of our heads. So when a challenge came up, we could be like, oh, this story really fits in with this. So yeah, I guess forethought. Just think about things ahead of time. It's not so much about the technical skills. It's really about how you approach it creatively from a mental aspect.
Cool. All right. Good deal. All right. Well, we are just right at an hour, except for Nick. He's only been here for 15 minutes, but it's okay. It's all right.
He can just hang out. He can just hang out until an hour is over. Just by
yeah,
himself,
well,
right?
he's got 2 trophies. He's half a show, 2 trophies. Good, so. All right. Well, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for taking your time. Thank you, Boone, for zooming over here from Billund and everything. And we wish him well over there, making really cool stuff for us to build in the future, which is amazing.
And we're losing.
And I believe another contestant has Lego. Is that correct? I just lost.
Nope. You're back.
No, you're good. You're good. You're back.
I'm back. Yeah, my internet's going wonky. So a season 3, somebody's working for Lego as well. Is that right?
Yep, Dave. Dave's going to work for Lego.
Yeah.
Right.
So
I think he's like, yeah, that's 3. I think I was going to say Aaron, Boone, Dave. I feel like I am forgetting. Is there one more? No. Okay, just 3. At least from the US. Obviously, there's lots of other countries and lots of other folks. So, which is super awesome.
All right. Awesome. Well, we enjoy Lego Masters. We appreciate the creativity that you guys do. Thank you for entertaining us so well. And so we thank y'all for being here tonight. Be awesome and build awesome, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.